Hi, welcome to So What? As you might have saw in our amazing, totally tubular, amazing, fabulous intro that starred us. I'm today's host, Marinelli, and this is my co-host,
Angeline.
Today, we're going to be talking about a super duper important topic that we, as citizens of the United States, don't feel like it's talked about enough, which is
Animal cruelty.
And you might be asking,
So what? Why is this important?
as the gremlin of the tree said, that is a question we're going to be answering today. So,
Let's get into it. Animals all around the world are treated just as badly as we are treating our world.
but that's another topic for later.
This is what is happening to so many animals all around the world, and that is our main focus today.
But our main focus isn't only house pets. Animal neglect and abuse isn't just subjective to your regular old house cat or dog. It can also happen to killer whales, elephants, monkeys, exotic animals that we think should not be kept in enclosures and should be let out outside. You as the viewer still might be asking, why is it important? Why should I care? It's just an animal. Well, this involves the mistreatment and negligence of so many animals around the world.
Look at this puppy. Isn't he so cute?
Super cute, but could you imagine that puppy being starved, not fed, not given water, not being let outside? That is what animal cruelty is, and that is the negligence.
This is what is happening to so many animals all around the world, and that is our main focus today.
So they can live in their natural habitats as they were meant to be. So, animal cruelty has been dated back all the way to 5000 BC. Can you believe that?
What?
I can't believe it either. That is a super long time, but the act of animal rights still hadn't become an issue until 1975, when the Australian philosopher Peter Singer published the book Animal Liberation in 1975.
The author Peter Singer exposed the realities of today's factory farms and product testing procedures, along with talking about our treatment of animals and how badly we treat them.
In 1826, New York became the first state to ever pass the animal rights law. Soon after, Massachusetts decided to follow, and that served for a good base for the ASPCA in 1866.
American Society Prevention for the Cruelty of Animals.
The beautiful fairy nymph of the forest said, that is what the ASPCA stands for. This organization set work to rescue animals from abuse, to seek protection for animals, and share resources with shelters nationwide. Well, you may be asking, what does this have to do with me?
Well, there are more than 10 million animals that die from all acts of abuse each year. Most of these animals can't even defend themselves or fight back against the cruel acts being done against them.
This applies to all animals, and I mean all. Not just house pets, it happens to many tropical and endangered animals throughout the countries, all for the self-inflicted acts of humans.
So, let's talk about zoos.
Unless you don't know, a zoo is a place where animals live in captivity and are put in for public display for people to view. The word zoo is short for zoological park. Zoos contain a wide variety of animals that are native to all parts of Earth. Well, a good question we could ask is, how are zoos relevant to this topic?
Well, zoos are known for their sweet, cuddly looking animals, right? Well, zoos often have a dark side. These dark sides which often cause the killing of animals.
Numerous animals are killed by zoos, and they don't sufficiently contribute to profit or fit into the facility master plans. Animals may be killed because of their genes are overrepresented in captive wildlife populations or to make room for younger animals who attract larger crowds.
A victim of this senseless act was an Asian elephant named Paki, who was held captive at the Oregon Zoo.
In 2017, poor Paki the elephant was killed at the age of 54 despite showing no signs of discomfort from his incurable tuberculosis.
Going back to what my co-host previously said, in a meeting before his execution, a zoo staffer reportedly said,
"How much is a 4-year-old elephant compared to a 4-year-old cow?" That is what a grumpy old man said during poor Peggy the elephant's execution. And to add on to that,
in 2014, the Copenhagen Zoo in Denmark, Germany, slaughtered 4 healthy lion cubs and a young male giraffe named Marius. The zoo said it had no choice but to euthanize the 2-year-old giraffe because Marius was part of an international breeding program.
So the EAZA, whose laws prohibit interbreeding to maintain the health of the stock, so Marius was shot with the stun gun, and in the shockingly callous public display was fed to lions in front of children. The same zoo admits that it killed between 20 to 30 animals each year. All of this happened during 2014, but think about how many animals in zoos around the world have been killed just because they don't profit enough from the animals. Sadly, between 3,000 and 5,000 animals have been killed all over European zoos every year. That's over 7,000 animals that belong to the ecosystem, not in captivity.
Everywhere around the world, zoo animals are being castrated, separated, or placed on contraceptives to limit population growth. Is this the best solution for the animals, conservation, or simply the solution that's least upsetting to zoo visitors?
Explicitly recommends killing healthy animals in some species breeding programs. The reason is because poor health, old age, and lack of space or conservation management reasons. Is it right to kill individual animals at the interest of preserving a species? That's a really big fat question that we have to ask ourselves. Can it be morally wrong, but at the same time necessary? And do the answer to this dilemma depend on whether the animal is a goat, a giraffe, or a gorilla?
There are so many questions that almost no sanctuaries want to answer, the reason being for the backlash that they may receive.
Now, we're not saying all zoos do the same. Many send animals out to the wild. This is seen in rehabilitation programs. This program is a powerful tool used for stabilizing, reestablishing, or increasing animal populations that have suffered a significant decline. Reintroductions may include animals that have spent some of their early life stages being cared for in a Head Start program that gives them a greater chance of survival than those born in the wild. Those brought in for rehabilitation from illness or injury, or those moved from one area to be released somewhere else.
Animal cruelty is not subjective to your common house pets, like cats, dogs. It happens all over the world and to hundreds of thousands, even millions of animals each year. You have a voice. You are an individual that can speak out against animal cruelty.
But don't do so without research.
You might be like, why should I care? How does it affect me?
Well, animals are extremely important to not only us, but the life cycle for our Earth. For example, livestock such as cows, goats, chickens, and more animals provide food for us humans. Bees are also a great example as they are pollinators and producers of honey and what we eat. If it wasn't for these animals, we wouldn't have the resources we have now. So, hypothetically speaking,
if we were to kill all of the spiders, there would be a significant rise in the mosquito population, and that would affect us as mosquitoes carry diseases that are fatal to humans. The more mosquitoes,
the more the disease would spread.
So, we should do our research so we can fight this cruel problem together.
Well, to put in short, animal rights is a topic that has been around for a long time and has gained more attention over the years. It revolves around the idea that animals are not objects or experiments humans can use for entertainment, clothes, or abuse. The movement for animal rights seeks to address the issues such as animal cruelty, exploitation, and the ethical considerations surrounding our interactions with animals. So going back to the question, do animals have rights?
Every species of animal has a right to life and security, subject to the law of the land, which includes depriving its life out of human necessity. Animals deserve certain kinds of considerations of what is in their interest. In many states, such as Illinois, animal protection laws are number one priority, as they have created laws to limit the amount of dogs you have in your home and to seek the protection of pets. The topic we are focusing on is neglect. Neglect is almost seen everywhere and has a powerful impact on how we treat our animals. So, the reason we think animal cruelty is an important topic is because animal abuse is something that causes those sweet, cuddly dogs and cats to be out on the street.
Hop into the next part. Hi, welcome to So What? Who are we here with today?
Perla.
So I'm just gonna be asking you some questions on my topic. So, are you ready?
Yes.
So to start off, what is your opinion on animal cruelty?
It's wrong.
Okay. Have you ever been affected by it?
Not in a personal sense, no.
Okay. Do you think this topic should be talked about more, or do you think it's talked about enough?
I think it should be talked about more, where animals should have more rights, yes.
Okay, and to finish, what is your opinion on animals being held in captivity and specifically zoos?
Depends. Every zoo should focus on conservation and repopulation. They should be open to training programs, educational programs. They shouldn't just be putting animals on for show, just to make money off them. So as long as they have the right programs, I don't know, for example, the Woodland Park Zoo here is a pretty good zoo. If we look at, when I looked at the zoo in California, in Los Angeles, it was a tiny little piece of dirt area for the animal to stand in to be an eyesight so people can get their money's worth. But they don't necessarily have a whole habitat set up for them to really feel comfortable, get whatever exercise they need. It all depends on what programs they have put in place.
Okay. That was all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching.